Well, I'm not shocked because it's happened before on numerous occasions. But once again, the leadership of Reform have taken upon themselves to attack Tommy Robinson, and by default attacking everybody that supports Tommy. And I saw Richard Tice interviewed this morning on GB News, saw Nigel Farage interviewed. We know Nigel Farage has continually, since the riot, since he was thinking he was in the frame, he's continually thrown Tommy under the bus. And now Richard Tice has joined in. And I honestly, I really do think it's appalling. In fact, Richard Tice wasn't on GB News. Richard Tice was on the Dan Wootton show. Farage was on GB News. So Tice was asked specifically by Dan Wootton about Tommy Robinson, and he was very, very clear, very, very clear. He said, "We want nothing to do with Tommy Robinson." By default, his supporters, and we know that people have been thrown out of the party recently for openly supporting Tommy. Now, this leads to a big dividing line. I want to talk about two things. I'm going to put my cards on the table. I'm not going to get into attacking people who support Reform, because I know why people support Reform, because people are desperate for an answer to the problems that the nation's facing. Now, I believe there are two answers. Now, first of all, I think the main answer to the problem that we're facing is the pledge. And if you don't know what the pledge is, I'll put the domain and the link below. I know there's been a few teething problems with the site because we got so much traffic last week. It was causing, which is a good complaint to have when the site has been hit so many times that it's causing problems. But the site's fully operational. It's thepledge.org.uk. Go and read it. Don't just sign something you haven't read. Go and read this. Read the pledge and the documentation around it. Just go and have a look at the site. If you like what you read, please sign up. We're getting thousands, and I mean thousands of people signing up. We only had it properly live, I think, for 3 days of last week, the last 3 days of the week. And again, it was kind of bedding in, and it was, it's when websites are launched or relaunched, they have to propagate. So it was bedding in, and we still had thousands and thousands of people signing up to the pledge. So go on, check it out. If you agree with it, sign up. Now, the reason for the pledge is it holds political parties to account. So come the next election, we will go to Reform, or the pledge will go to Reform, and a proposal will be put to Reform. If you can agree with the principles in the pledge, and you can sign up to them, then the thousands of people who could make a difference in any election, those thousands upon thousands of people that have signed up to the pledge, if any political party signs up to those principles, then that political party will get the support of the pledge. That's pretty much the way it's going to work. And if that's Reform or UKIP or the Conservative Party, it doesn't matter, as long as the party is going to honour that. And then, of course, if the party doesn't honour it, well, then they've got an even bigger problem, because they have broken faith with a pledge that has been made between them and the people who have signed the pledge. And that's going to cause them a world of pain, certainly at election time. So that's the idea behind the pledge. And like I say, it is the 21st century Magna Carta. It's a way of calling politicians to account. And if you read the pledge, it's no right-minding person could not sign the pledge. If you have any ounce of sense, you could sign the pledge. So that holds Nigel and Reform and the people in Reform to account, calls them to account in a big way. So what other solutions are there to the problem? Well, after the horrendous things that happened during the summer, and then again Farage throwing Tommy under the bus, I decided it was time to look at UKIP again. And I've been speaking to Nick, the leader of UKIP, for a long, long time. I've known him for a long time. He's a good friend. And I said next, look, I'm going to join. So I've joined UKIP, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not saying that UKIP is the answer. I'm saying the pledge is definitely the answer. I'm not saying UKIP's the answer. To me, a political party is a vehicle to get you what you want. My loyalty to any political party is conversant on the policies that they promote and they hold. And if they start promoting and holding policies that do not line up with my values, I will stop supporting that party and look for another political home. But to me, the one that is most closely aligned with what I believe at the moment is UKIP under Nick. So that's what I believe part of the solution is. And, you know, a lot of people will think I'm mad. A lot of people probably think I'm crazy. Well, I probably am crazy. But the reality is, I think we need the pledge to be the ideology behind any political movement, and we do need a political party. But I'm not saying that UKIP is definitely that yet. It looks like it is, but I'm not saying it is. Time will tell. And again, the verdict's out. But what I would say is, please go and sign the pledge. And then we can start calling these people to account. And they can't play games with us anymore. Because before the last election, there was noises coming from UKIP, from Reform. There was noises coming from Reform that would have suggested that they were willing to have a loose coalition with our movement and with the tens of thousands of people that follow us on social media and with the tens of thousands of people that take to the streets when we do our celebrations and our events. Obviously, that was not the case. And by the way Farage has reacted, he has treated everybody that went on the 27th of July with absolute contempt. Everybody that went on the 1st of June, he's treated them with absolute contempt because many of those people were his voters. And his attack on Tommy and the movement that surrounds Tommy is nothing less than reprehensible. Now, you may disagree with me. I know many people on my channel are Reform voters. I get that. And I know why you're voting Reform, because it seems like the last chance saloon. But let us try and put something in place that's even better than Reform and see how we go with that. Because that's my plan. With the pledge and possibly with UKIP. Like I say, I've joined UKIP, so I'm certainly putting my faith in them. It's like anything, when you first get into any relationship, whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship, you're finding your feet at the beginning. That's what I'm doing with UKIP at the minute. And they'll obviously be doing that with me. But it's looking good. And my suggestion is that we really think outside the box. I hate that saying, but it's a very good saying for this situation. Let's say we think outside the Westminster bubble, because increasingly Farage is sounding like a Liberal Democrat. He even said he likes what the Liberal Democrats do. He's going to try and copy the Liberal Democrats. That's what he said. So we'll see where it all goes. Yes, I am very down on Farage. I feel very let down by Reform. I'm not happy with the direction of travel. And this is why I absolutely recommend every single person goes onto the pledge.org.uk, signs that, because then we can hold these people to account properly. We have tens of thousands of people signing that document. And I believe, honestly, by probably middle of next year, we'll have 500,000 people there, at least, which would be incredible. So anyway, that's me. That's my little rant for Sunday. Again, I don't want to demoralise anyone. I believe there are other options. I believe the pledge is an option for calling people to account. UKIP is an option for a political party. I'm not saying it's the right option for everybody, but I believe, with what I'm hearing from Nick, that he's going in the right direction. And if he stays the course, then it will be a party that's absolutely worth putting our support behind and building up again. And we've got 5 years to do it, 4 years or whatever it is, but we've got to get at it now. Because I'm sorry, and as sad as it sounds, I don't believe that the Reform Party are the solution that we're looking for. See you soon.